What is going on, everybody? Back again today doing a video talking about the Batsuit, Batman's costume that he wears, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail. With the new Batman movie out, and me and all my friends have seen it, we've just been talking about Batman a lot, and one of the things that we keep talking about is the new suit in the movie versus other suits in previous movies versus, should it try to resemble comic book iterations of Batman's costume? Should it be completely different because it is live action? We've been talking a lot about the Batman costume. So, I decided to set the record straight and give you guys the be all end all discussion on Batman's costume and the appropriate ways to do Batman's costume. And I'm also going to tell you what you're not allowed to do with Batman's costume, even if it was done at one point in time, in history, in comic books, in cartoons, live action. Just because it was done once before does not mean it's okay to do today. There are some things that are just they're best left in the past. We're going to talk about those things. So, let's just go ahead and get into it. So, the perfect Batsuit. So right off the bat, first thing we're going to talk about is the ear length and shape. First thing I want to mention is that there's a minimum length and there's a maximum length. And right here I have two examples of where they went way too far in both of those directions. The picture you see on the left it's an all gray Dark Knight Returns Batman. Those are too small. Those ears are too small. They should never, ever, ever be that small. Ever. Never, ever, ever. If you're drawing them, illustrating them, animating them, sculpting them that small, you're wrong. You're wrong, and you should quit, and you should go work somewhere else and stop having anything to do with Batman. On the flip side of that, on the right, we see a picture of Batman as he appears in the Arkham Asylum and Arkham City game. These ears are the opposite of the picture on the left. These are too long. They're way too fucking long. They're absolutely ridiculously too long. Don't ever make Batman's ears this long. If you're making Batman's ears this long on his cowl, you're also wrong, and you should quit. You should never ever have anything to do with Batman ever again, and you should go work somewhere else, because those are too fucking long. And that's just the way it is. If you disagree with me, I'm sorry. Thankfully, if we live in a society where it's illegal for you to be wrong, but you are wrong. This is too short. This is too long. Now you might be wondering, what is allowed? What is the ear length that is allowed? Before I go into that, I want to talk about the shape. So, sometimes Batman's ears can be wide you see him from a side profile, his head from a side profile like this. They can be wide this way, like a shark's fin. They cannot be wide from a front profile like this, because then they start to look like rabbit ears. All right, they can be wide. They can be kind of wide this way, not this way. I hope that makes sense to everybody. So as I said, you might be wondering, what is acceptable? How do we know? Well, basically, this is too small, so anything longer than this is okay. And then how do we know where to stop with length? Well, this. It just so happens, personally, I look at the Robert Pattinson Batman cowl, and if his ears were any longer than this, I would hate it. I would absolutely. This is the maximum length that I can handle. So, what you saw on that Dark Knight Returns Batman, it has to be longer than that, but this is the maximum length. It cannot be longer than this. That's how you do the ears. Also, the cowl, this is kind of hard to illustrate or animate for cartoon animation or in comics, but the cowl should not be cloth. It should not be leather. It should be something protective and durable and helmet-like that keeps his head safe. All right? Just wanted to throw that in there. So, color scheme. What are your options with the color scheme? Well, these three are pretty much it. You can do blue and gray, this is what it is. I know it's kind of highlighted with black, but this is Jim Lee's Batman, and he drew him blue and gray for this. So blue and gray is an option, black and gray is an option, and all black is an option. Now, these three are not always options all of the time. For instance, the blue and gray color scheme, that is never allowed in live action. Ever. If I ever see Batman wearing a blue and gray costume in live action, I will hunt down the company that made that piece of live action entertainment, and I will TP and egg their headquarters. Like, no, don't ever do Batman in blue and gray in live action. That's not allowed. It's off limits. You can do black and gray, as was proved by Ben Affleck in Batman v Superman and Justice League, but more so in Batman v Superman. I actually really liked the Batsuit in Batman v Superman. The only part of it I really didn't like was the fat bat chest symbol, but it was tolerable. So black and gray is acceptable, and then all black is acceptable. These two, they can work in pretty much anything. Comics, animation, live action, video games, doesn't matter. These two are for color schemes, these are your bread and butters. This only works in comics and sometimes in animation. But live action, and I'm going to go ahead and say probably video games as well, this blue and gray does not work. So chest symbol, you have two choices. You can go with the classic, very trademarked yellow oval with the bat in it, or you can just go with a black bat on the chest. The black bat should not be the Dark Knight Returns bat. I'm going to go ahead and say that. That is signature to the Dark Knight Returns story. That should never be considered like the default Batman symbol for Batman chest symbol or logo. Never, ever, 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 never, 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 never. All right? Because it's just too much of a rectangular blob. All right? And not enough of a bat. This is a bat. It's clearly a bat. There's no way you can look at this image on his chest and not think it's a bat. At certain angles and whatnot on the Ben Affleck Batsuit or in the Dark Knight Returns, it kind of just looks like a black rectangle on his chest or a black trapezoid on his chest. It's not a bat. So it needs to be a bat. But yeah, either one of these symbols are okay for the Batsuit. Either one. Now, what about obviously we've seen both in comics, we've seen both in animation, we've seen both in, we'll get to video games, but what about live action? Do both of these really work in live action? Because we've seen this one in live action plenty. We've only seen this with Michael Keaton. So here it is, live action. Like I just said, we've seen it on Michael Keaton. But here's someone, I don't know if this is like a digitally rendered image or if this is like someone took their Hot Toys Batman v Superman figure and did a custom job, removed the rectangular black bat and put this symbol on there. But as you can see, this is the Batman v Superman Ben Affleck costume with the yellow bat oval. And personally, I think this works. I think it looks more than okay. So yeah. This symbol can work in live action. So those are your choices for the symbol. Nothing other than that. All right? The rebirth shit, get that the fuck out of here. You have your two choices. You have the yellow oval symbol or just the plain black bat. That's not a fat rectangular blob. Utility belt. Let's talk about the utility belt. So we're going to go from left to right here. First of all, I want to address this shit. So this Batman costume that you've seen here, granted, over the years that this was in use in comics a lot, it had subtle changes and tweaks here and there. But for the most part, this is how Batman looked from like the 60s to the mid-90s. This was Batman. In comics, at the very least, and in a lot of in animation and shit. Even Adam West's Batman costume, it's sort of stylized like this. This shit is ass. All right, this is old, outdated, obsolete shit. There is zero logical, practical reason that Batman should be wearing bright light blue with this much yellow. There's none. There's no reason. Nightwing looks like shit too here. There's zero reason for this. The only reason this was ever done for Batman is because back in the day when this costume design was thought up, they thought, hey, how can we draw Batman that'll make in a way that will make him appeal more to our readers and our reader base? Well, who is our reader base? Well, it's the 60s, so the majority of the vast, overwhelming majority of our readers are children. Oh, well, children like bright, fancy colors. Just put some color on him. Make him as colorful as you can possibly be without it being ridiculous. And back then, when it was children that were the predominant audience, like pretty much the entire audience, they could get away with this. Children looked at a guy called Batman, who prowls the night in bright blue with like a bright yellow belt and a bright yellow symbol, and they went, yeah, Batman, colors, pretty colors. I'm a kid, pretty colors. I like pretty colors. I'm a child. Uh, Here's the thing. There are plenty of adults who like Batman now, and adults have their own wallets and bank accounts. So stop focusing on doing shit for children. Do it for the adults. There's absolutely plenty of adult fans of nerd shit out there. You should predominantly cater to them because they don't have to go ask their mommy or daddy to buy them shit. They can buy it themselves. They can buy their own comics, merchandise, whatever. So yeah, this Batman being this fucking colorful, bright blue and yellow and bullshit, this just stems from trying to appeal to children, which we shouldn't be really trying to do anymore. Batman is a dark, gritty character who deals with psychopaths and murderers and just trash, human trash, sci-fi monster trash. But he is a dark, gritty character. The goal here should not be like, let's make him bright and colorful for the kiddos. Like, no, get the fuck out of here with that. So never again should we ever see this. I'm not saying we can't acknowledge that it once existed. It existed, and honestly, it existed for a very long time, 60s to 90s, for a good chunk of the human population. This is Batman to them, you know? But it does not work well in any other format. Maybe animation to some degree, but even then, it's like you cannot even make an animated cartoon Batman show for teenagers or adults and have him look like this. You just can't. So, I'm sorry. The days of this shit are over. They're done. They were cool for the time that they existed, but they're done now. And we can always respect them and acknowledge them. Yeah, they existed. It happened. We don't have to like pretend it didn't happen, but they're done. And we all need to just recognize that they're done. So, specifically about the belt on this suit. This bright yellow capsule belt. Batman should not be wearing bright anything. I can tolerate the symbol because this symbol with the yellow is rather iconic and like it's like a staple of the character at this point. But that is literally the extent of bright color on Batman. Like if you ask me like how much bright color on Batman is too much bright color, and the answer is anything more than this logo is too much bright color on Batman. So, and then on top of that, there's nowhere on this belt for him to hold shit. Grapple gun, forensic tools, nothing. So, it's just stylish. It's just stylish for the kiddos. So, it's not practical, it's not logical. It's bright fucking yellow. Like, get the fuck out of here with this shit. Batman's belt has to have pouches. It has to have pouches and places to hold shit. All right. Now, in terms of color, here are your options. Batman's belt and pouches can be made out of a sort of like durable nylon or leathery material with nylon leathery pouches, or it can be metallic in nature. If you go the leathery nylon approach, your two color options are light brown and dark brown. That's it. If you do anything other than that, you're fucking wrong. And then if you're going to go for a more metallic look, your two color options are like a tarnished brass or tarnished copper. If you do any kind of really shiny metal look, like in The Dark Knight or Batman Begins, you're wrong. Get the fuck out of here, you're wrong. Dark. He's a dark and gritty character. Stop with the bright shit. So, like this belt on the Arkham Asylum, Arkham City Batman, that's a pretty damn good, metallic pouch belt. And then over here on this statue, we've got a leather pouch belt. That's also pretty good. But yeah, for leather, metal, light brown, dark brown, tarnished brass or tarnished copper, those are your options. If you do anything other than that, you're wrong. I'm sorry. Or you can, and then here, actually, I'm going to eat my words here. There's a third option. All black. Like just a dark belt. It doesn't, the belt does not have to be super noticeable as long as it's just there. Like Robert Pattinson in the newest Batman movie, I didn't have a problem with his belt kind of just blending in with the rest of his costume. That was fine. But this bright yellow shit with no pouches, goodbye. It's a thing of the past. It's outdated. It's obsolete. It's inferior. Goodbye. So let's talk about the trunks. Okay, this is going to be another fucking thing. Like it's basically going to be the exact thing I just said about the belt and the belt being bright yellow and shit. This is a stylistic design choice from a time past. Okay? Back in the day, circus strong men came out into the circus arena and performed their feats of strength, wearing nothing but, maybe some wrist bracelets, boots, and a pair of pelvic trunks. And they performed great feats of strength. Luchador wrestlers kind of also were another people that kind of created this look with the trunks. The trunks are dumb. They're just dumb. Why is anyone wearing underwear type things on the outside of their clothes? It's old, it's outdated, it's past its day, it's obsolete, it's inferior, it's stupid. We just got to let it go. If you have trouble letting go of the trunks and you don't want to say goodbye to the trunks, it's probably because it's just something from your childhood and you don't want to let it go because it reminds you that sooner or later things have to change and you're getting older and blah, 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 which is just the fact of the world. This is not okay anymore. It just looks stupid. And there's a reason that it's never been done in live action. When they did the black and gray Batman costume for live action with Ben Affleck and Batman v Superman, they still omitted the trunks because fuck the trunks. All right? That's just the way it is. So yeah. Don't do trunks. They're just dumb. And you look over here, we have two examples of black and gray Batman suits that do not have trunks. And they both look fucking badass. This is the Batman Incorporated Batsuit, which I really, really like. And the suit that he's currently wearing in the comics is basically this costume again, and I'm happy about it. And then over here, this is actually a 3D statue. But this is a pretty good rendition of New 52 Batman in the way that I like him. Like some artists drew New 52 Batman with way too much lining and shit, like almost like an electrical grid going through his costume. Whoever sculpted and designed this statue did a good job. There's some seams and lining going through the body of the suit, but it's not overkill. And he has no trunks, black bat, tarnished brass pouch belt. We're good to go. Both of these are great options. They look perfect. So fuck the trunks. This shit is the way we should go now. Even if you're going to do a blue and gray color scheme, still fuck the trunks. It's done, guys. It's 2022. It's 2022, and this was a concept thought up in like late 30s, early 40s. Let's just let it go. Can we just fucking all admit it's about time? Let's just be like, yeah, underwear on the outside of your pants is fucking stupid. I don't care how long it's been around on Batman. I don't care, how, it's just a staple of the character. Like, you can't take away the trunks. You can't do it, man. It's part of Batman. No, it's not. Look right here. He looks fine without them. He looks better without them. He looks great. So fuck the trunks. So now let's get to the winner. The winner is clearly color scheme, black and gray. Symbol could go either way. Doesn't matter as long as it's not a big black blob. Belt, pouch belt that is light brown leather, dark brown leather, tarnished brass or tarnished copper pouch belt. That's also acceptable. And here's why this is the winner. It's because this type of suit can go anywhere. It can be translated into anything. This is a comic book depiction of it. This is the New 52 suit. Like I said, this is in the form of a statue. This also shows that it could be translated into like 3-dimensional collectibles and toys and stuff and look really cool. But also, this is another suit that he wore in the comics for quite a while, and a lot of artists did draw him pretty much like this, and this looks great. As we can see from the Batman v Superman suit, black and gray with no trunks also translates well to live action, and the symbol doesn't matter, but fuck this big rectangular blob. It should be something more like this if it's going to be the black bat. But other than that, clearly black and gray color scheme, with no belt, or no trunks and a pouch belt that's tarnished metal or light or dark brown leather. That's the way to go. It works good in comics, 3-dimensional collectibles and toys, live action. It also works well in video games and animation. This is the Batman Incorporated skin from Arkham City. This is my favorite suit to wear when I play Arkham City. It looks fucking great. Light brown leather pouches, gray bodysuit, no trunks, black and gray color scheme, the trademark symbol. It looks great. And then over here we have the animated Batman from, what was it? Let's see. The DC animated movie universe. from the DC animated original movie universe. The only thing wrong with this one is the belt. The belt needs pouches, but other than that, clearly this suit, that what I'm describing, works well in animation. Guys, this suit fits everything: comics, toys, statues, live action, animation, video games. Black and gray. It's black and gray is what. Why black and gray over blue and gray? Because it can do live action. That's why, and video games. Blue and gray doesn't work as well. So why this? Why is this the winner? Because it works in every format. It works 100% of the time. It just works. So why you would do something other than this, I don't fucking know. It's just like this should just be uniform at this point. This should just be Batman. Like I said, you can swap it up. Maybe sometimes, if you're an artist, if you want to do, let's say, oh, he's been wearing a leather pouch belt lately, I'm going to switch up and give him more of like a tarnished brass, pouch belt. Fine. Oh, he's been wearing the black bat on his chest for a while. I'm going to switch up. I'm going to give him the yellow oval. Fine. He's had longer ears for a little while. Not too long, but longer. I'm going to shorten him up a bit. Fine. But don't go off the fucking rails, all right? Subtle little differences here and there you can flip-flop around with, but don't go off the rails and do crazy shit like Rebirth, or, don't ever go back to that blue and gray suit with the bright yellow belt. This is the winner. Black and gray color scheme, pouch belt, lighter dark brown leather, or tarnished brass, copper pouch belt, no trunks. Small to medium ear length. This is Batman. This is the way it is. So yeah. Whew. Take that for what you will, guys. I just had to put that out there. I am the definitive authority on Batman. I don't give a shit what anyone says. And that's the best way to do the Batsuit. That's the best way to do the Batsuit. Now, I do like Robert Pattinson's Batsuit because even though it has a very almost like tactical armored look to it, you look at the movie, it is black and gray. They followed the black and gray color scheme. His bat is removable on the chest. It serves as like a cutting tool. But it is essentially the black bat. He has the black cowl. The only thing about Robert Pattinson's Batsuit that I really don't like is the fact that the cowl is made of like soft, pliable leather. Doesn't seem very protective for his head. And then I don't like the silver sticks on his forearms. Like, I don't know why they're there. They're kind of distracting from the rest of the suit. But they did basically follow exactly what I said. Black cape, cowl, boots, gloves. Dark belt that just blends in with the bodysuit, which is a dark gray, black bat. Yeah, Robert Pattinson's suit works. But also we saw the pictures of Ben Affleck's Batsuit, both of them, with the black bat that I hate because it's the fat bat, and then also the yellow oval, which works. So yeah, take that for what you will, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Agree with me, disagree with me. Let me know what you guys think and why. Get a discussion started. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. That really helps out the channel. And if you want to help out my channel even more, check out some of my other videos and subscribe. Other than that, though, guys, I'll see you next time.